A clarion call has been made for the implementation of declarations made at the COP28 gathering. The event began in Dubai last week and analysts are now scrutinizing the outcomes. One of those matters is around climate finance. BDO Sustainability Consultant for Risk Advisory Services, Lehlogonolo Mashego, speaks to us now about this development. Thank you so much for your time, Lehlogonolo. I think let's first unbunk what the financing of the climate agenda would be and what exactly has been spoken about with the term that is referenced here as a climate finance one.
Okay, good morning, and thank you so much for having me. So, the concept of climate finance is a big concept that's going to be presenting, or that is being presented at COP28. Keywords include loss and damage, which is what you would mostly be hearing about in terms of the outcomes of the loss and damage funds, and us actually fulfilling the climate justice obligations that developing nations would have had in terms of reaching climate justice and supporting developing nations.
And this becomes important for developing nations, in particular South Africa, as the gateway to Africa. Where do we stand in relation to previous COP gatherings with regards to COP28 being the latest and South Africa playing a major role in terms of representation? But when we speak of climate finance, as much as we speak of the just energy transition, there are bottlenecks there.
Absolutely. So look, in COP28 this year, we have our President Cyril Ramaphosa actually delivering the progress or update in terms of the Just Energy Implementation Plan. What we would have already know is that we have a signed off and approved investment plan, which is a 5-year plan from 2023 all the way to 2027. We have since gotten into a partnership, and now we are in the implementation plan or phase of the of that process. Key outcomes in terms of the climate financing and the implementation of the just energy transition is a key outcome that we anticipate in terms. That South Africans need to anticipate in terms of what's going to be coming out. How far are we in terms of the implementation plan, the successes, and what strategic aspects need to be done to reevaluate how that just energy transition would be implemented on ground.
As a parting shot, Lehlogonolo, with that said, especially the latter part of where South Africa finds itself in relation to the rest of the continent when it comes to the climate agenda, the just energy transition, has there been progress?
Absolutely. There has been progress in terms of, and as I said, we have an investment plan. We have, built partnerships with countries such as France, Germany. We've gotten into a just energy transition partnership, which is aimed at supporting South Africa in terms of reaching or achieving those financial to get that financial support or the financial aid to be able to drive the decarbonization and move to overall move to the just energy transition. Again, as I've said, the implementation plan is a critical part, with implementation being the biggest issue or crack in any plan or strategic plan that we always encompass. We also had our Minister of Department of Forestry and Forestry, Fisheries and Environmental Affairs also highlight the fact that implementation is our biggest obstacle, and for that I think for us to be able to receive and enjoy the fruits of this transition, it would be very essential that implementation be thoroughly managed, with professionals such as ourselves taking leading roles and our leaders facilitating this transition effectively, efficiently, and for the people within the country.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Lehlogonolo Mashego is with BDO talking to us about developments around COP28.